Okay, it's reading time. Hope everyone is doing well. It's a very dark and gloomy day today. I had to have my ring light actually on today. Usually the sun is bright enough. Alright, we're going to start today with my color deck. That's what I'm feeling drawn to. And just, whoop, that was fast. I was going to say, and see what's going on with this collective. First card that flew out was Energy. Mystery. One more. Anger. Okay. Alright, so we're starting out with some energy, mystery, and anger. I want another, I'm going to go one more because I like to see the color combinations too. One more for energy. Confidence. Confident energy? That's good. Okay. Or maybe that's what we need. Mystery. Consciousness. That makes sense. Anger. Isolation. Okay. I'm going to clarify these with another deck as well. I'm going to grab this one. I want to clarify this confident energy, and then we do, oh, you know what, first, we do have this commonality of, well, actually, let me just double check and see. Okay. Where'd it go? The white cards. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Sorry. I know I wasn't recording when this happened. This is right before I started recording. I was literally just sitting here with my deck in my hands, and like, as I do at the beginning of most readings, just like play with it and stuff. And I was staring across the room at my incense that I have burning, and I noticed that like at the moment, the way it was like floating up, everything looked very still. Like it just seemed like the air was still. And I was like, And I just felt that for a minute. And I told myself, I said, take a moment to be still, to just take this moment to be still. And of course, that wasn't in the reading, it was how I was getting ready to do the reading. And you have two white cards here. And the first thing it says for white cards in a reading, what all of the white cards in this deck have in common is a sense of stillness. If you end up having mostly white cards in a reading, moving toward a sense of calm may be something that you're working on right now or have worked out in the recent past. What do you need to know to find tranquility? And it's interesting that you do have not an overwhelming amount of white cards. You have 6 cards and only 2 of them are white, but that's still very funny to me. But then you have the moving toward a sense of calm may be something that you're working on right now. And with this anger card, that makes a lot of sense. And isolation, I feel like maybe you are taking that time because of some anger. Well, I'm going to get more into that. Isolating to deal with it instead of reacting or acting on it. You know what I mean? Taking the time to really sit with it. Not to dwell in it, but to to process it, in like in a mindful way, a productive way. And I'm feeling this row here with the mystery and the consciousness. I'm feeling some sort of like awakening energy. Especially too with that energy of confidence. Sorry, I just want to sit with it for a minute because it's weird for me to see a confident energy over here and then anger and isolation over here. Because I feel like when we're angry, sometimes we're not feeling the most confident about something. um, or maybe it's angry because you're so confident. We'll see. We'll see. All right. Let me get one of these for this energy and confidence row. This could be the confidence you're trying to get, although it's the leading card, so let's see. Energy and confidence. External party. Situations. Karmic partner, friends and family, work, other people, obligations. I got this in my last reading too. Okay. No, I just heard. Thank you. I just heard that this confident energy is the way that this collective is currently like dealing with this external party situation. Because I really feel this middle row as kind of like an awakening, like this consciousness and this mystery. I know it really it is giving me that vibe of like when you if you're on like a healing or a spiritual journey and you have one of those like awakenings, and certain things become so much clearer, and it's just like if you've gone through it, you would understand there is like a mystery to it, because you get kind of like in awe by it. And there is kind of like a childlike mystery, like innocence to it. Like you start getting so like, wow, what, like it's like magic is what I'm trying to like I think I'm trying to say. And I'm just with the consciousness being over it, it feels like it's like a mystery opening up to you, like the mystery of your consciousness, like it's a new thing to explore. It's a mystery, you know what I mean? But it's opening up this confident energy that it's like a like I can finally do this. Like, oh my god, this happened. I can do this now. You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like this anger and isolation, it feels somehow directly connected to this energy. Like maybe this collective had to isolate for a while to really deal with the anger of awakening to all of this that's really around them. Sorry, I don't know if you can be able to see that with my light on, but but let's get one for this. We'll come back. Mystery, consciousness. Ah, holy freaking crap. Self-care energy, low energy. Well, it's always so funny when I see it's self-care energy but low energy, and it's self-care should give you energy, right? Like taking care of yourself, it's like it should replenish that energy. But sometimes the things we have to do to take care of ourselves, I feel like can be depleting. Sorry, it says low energy, depleted. I was staring at the card. Cleansing, wanting time alone, recharge, retreat. Yeah, wanting time alone, isolation, because of this kind of like awakening, and it's it's better for yourself to isolate if this anger is kind of like what is your main emotion right now, right? It wouldn't be a good idea to act out of this emotion heightened, right? You want to even you can act out of anger, right? But make sure it's balanced, right? Like controlled emotion. It's not like lashing out in anger. It's like letting someone know that it made you angry, but not um your actions not like you're not doing anything you're gonna regret, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But you also got this thoughts, feeling trapped, overthinking, in their head, worries, fears. But I think that's part of where this mystery and consciousness comes in, where there was this need to kind of isolate and retreat, time alone, figure things out. You see, like I'm excuse me, I'm still sticking to this consciousness and this mystery being some kind of awakening, right? This cleansing energy. Like trying to I feel like where this anger gets in the way has to do with this overthinking too in your head, worries, fears, where even with kind of an awakening and seeing things differently and the mystery of it all, I think that there is still like these lingering overthinking thoughts about how to process your emotions, how to process what you're going through. Because it's like seeing things clearly all of a sudden the way you are is confusing, confronting, exhausting. This low energy. It's like all you do is think now. Like all you're always in your head. But at the same time, it's so weird because while there are moments of feeling trapped in those overthinking thoughts and and I think it has to do with this energy, this external third party energy. I don't know why I said third party, but external party situations, karmic partner, friends, family, work, other people, obligations. That energy, I feel like it's if that is part having to overcome one or more of those external karmic dynamics. I'm just trying, it would be hard is I guess is what I'm trying to get out. Anger would be just the tip of the iceberg, right? But I feel like for this collective it is like the main energy that is or the main emotion that you're kind of like battling right now is the anger. And I have to say it feels like a lot of anger toward yourself. But at the same time, it's like there's something about that anger which it makes perfect sense. When we get so mad at ourselves that we can't take ourselves anymore. We're like no, like I'm done doing this to myself. Like you get so mad at yourself for whatever you're letting happen or whatever it is for so long that I feel like there's that anger like I said, if it's controlled emotion, if you give it purpose, if you give it, you know what I mean, if you sit with it in a productive way and not act on it out of that heightened emotion state, it can't, that anger can give you confidence to be like, no, like I said, like I'm done. That confident energy to be like, no more, for boundaries, right? But at the same time, having to do that, I feel like something for this collective, it's not as easy as just kind of putting your foot down and saying there's something that there's just more to it. To put you in this overthinking state and these worries and fears, like knowing that the anger is fueling you to do something about it, but still at this crossroads in your head of, but what if I do act on it? What if I do this? And like, what's gonna happen? It's a fear of what's gonna happen next, I feel. Let's get one for this isolation and anger. disharmony triggers conflict, competition, arguments, harsh communications. That's what I think this collective might be a little afraid of. I think because of how much anger this collective is in, or has, and is holding on to, and putting yourself in isolation, this might actually, while I do feel it is for healthy reasons, I think that part of it is because this collective knows that you're at that brink where the next person over here that triggers you, that does, that pushes the wrong button, they're going to get the brunt of that anger. And it's like, I think you're afraid that everything, it's just going to be a mess. And like, I don't think this collective, like, you're not one to want like this kind of confrontation. You're like in your face, yelling and screaming. Like, but I think that's what, like, you're almost afraid it would get to if you were to get pushed one more time. Maybe you don't even know that you're at that point, and maybe that's like the isolation was just like an instinct to prevent that. Because I feel like there's something with this collective where this conflict, harsh communication, arguments, I feel like that's where what you know is going to come, or is most likely to come, by addressing this energy, this like karmic, whatever this external situation is, one or more of those things listed earlier. I think you know that by confronting them, whether or not in anger, there is anger a lot. Again, a lot towards yourself, I think for putting up with something or something for so long. I just feel like this collective, you're at a point where you've awakened enough and realized enough and kind of had your own, maybe even kind of like a dark night of the soul, that really like awakened your consciousness. But it's weird, it's conflicting, because it's, on the one hand, there's so much, yes, anger. That's not the only emotion I feel from this collective, but it's the one that's present. So I feel like it's the one you're meant to focus on first, is the anger. Not just towards others, that maybe it's resentment, you know what I mean? But towards yourself, it's like there's something about that needing to come down, to settle first. Whether or not it causes conflict, arguments, harsh communications, that's your biggest worry right now. I feel like with this, the overthinking in your head, your worries and fears. It's just the confrontation aspect of it. Of, like, I'm gonna say, I feel like this collective, you would not be someone who is comfortable or used to that kind of blunt, open, honest, like, communication, like kind of like putting up a boundary, or advocating for something that you want or don't want, like speaking up for yourself. Like, I feel like this collective, you're not used to that. It's not something that you're comfortable with. But at the same time, again, the contradiction here is that anger at yourself for that is at the same time also fueling a new energy, like, of confidence that you can't do something about these things now. It's almost like that, like, okay, I can do something. I see that I see that I'm kind of holding myself back, but what I have to do is gonna suck, right? It's absolutely gonna suck. But I know now, like where all this is coming from. I know that it's the confidence I feel like is not in so much that you know you can do it. It's more of like a confidence that at least like you see things the way they are now. You see things like this consciousness, this mystery. You know what I mean? It's you're no longer blaming everyone and everything or anything around you for like what you for these emotions, right? It's like now there's that a feeling of, and it's funny because normal that's this is why I feel like it's so contradicting, because that feeling like that awakening and kind of like seeing things as they are and being, it can be so confronting at first and not very like you don't have a confidence at first. It's not like a, oh wow, I can do it. You don't get that until after you sit with things for a while and really reflect and understand. You know what I mean? It's not like it's not an overnight thing. So to have this confident energy over the external party situations, it's just very, very contradicting. It's because I can feel the anger and the emotion, but I can also feel like I keep hearing in my head like I know like I know what I have to do, but at the same time it's like something. I don't know. I don't know how to put it into words. The feeling that I'm feeling. It's like it's almost like when you go to say something and like someone across the room was like don't, like doing the the hand across the throat like no don't say that, and you're like oh okay. It's like there's certain times where I want to go say something and it's like oh wait, and I don't know, I can't, that's such a weird. It's almost like maybe this collective you get to a point where you like that anger and the emotion, like I said, get you to that point where you're almost triggered to say something, and then that those overthinking thoughts are like no, no don't do that, don't do that, don't, and you like back off and you're like no I can't, but there's also a part of you that gets that confidence, that energy of confidence to do it. It's so I feel like this collective, I feel like you're like right there, like you want to do it, but it's like and I think that is also why there's so much anger. It's like, and why I feel it's so much directed at yourself. It's like because this energy that I'm feeling is frustrating because I can't get it out, like in words to you guys, and so it makes me feel like this collective, you're just so frustrated that you can't get out what you want to get out, but you know, like you're confident in knowing like what it will do for you to do what you need to do, but it's just like oh my god, like I feel like you're so mad at yourself right now, and it's like you just like you almost, I feel like it's like you almost wish there could be someone who could just literally just push you, like you're on the diving board and you're afraid to go, and your sibling or your friend is like just go, and you there you go, like it's almost like you want someone to almost do that for you. You wish maybe the universe is trying to. Let's see, I'm gonna get a few of these shadow cards to see what this collective is battling right now, specifically as far as shadows or external party situations or whatever. No way! Dark Night of the Soul! I said it. Dark Night of the Soul. Confirmation. Confirmation. You are undergoing deep transformation. Trust that this darkness is leading to light. So, confirmation, this collective, you are going through a dark night of the soul, or have, and are still processing it, right? The prison of regret. The past cannot be rewritten, but your future is yours to create. which I feel like this collective is trying to do. This regret, I feel like it's the root of this anger. It's like you you don't want to sit and regret or have regret doesn't serve any purpose because you can't change like this says you can't change what's been done. You can learn from it, you can grow from it, you can choose never to be that person again or do you can make those choices. It doesn't take away what you've done or who may have been hurt in the process or if it's just yourself. It doesn't change a thing that already happened, but that doesn't mean that it's not like a lot of people will think like, well, I already did it, so I'm this now. That's not true. That's not you. You did that thing. You did those things. You were that. But doesn't mean you are that. That's just the thing you did. That's just the thing that happened. You know what I mean? Like that's just what things that happened. That doesn't define you as a person if that's not what you want to be. Do you know what I mean? So there's just regret serves no purpose unless it's pushing you to never be that person again. Let that be the purpose that a regret serves. Let it just be a teacher. Let it show you what you don't want to be anymore and model that. And every time you get to that situation and you remember the regret you already had, let that be the motivator. Like, no, that's not the feeling I want anymore. That's not who I am. I don't have to keep doing it because I already did. You know what I mean? Like, regret serves no purpose unless you let it grow you. Okay. See what else this collective is working on. Because if you had a dark night of the soul. Oh, see? Yep. I'm going to say, if you had a dark night of the soul, you've been going through it. All on the floor, too. Okay. All right. You got, yeah. Man, this collective, you are beating yourself up right now. And making yourself so mad about it. And like this competition on this card, I kept thinking like I don't feel competition with anybody, but like for some reason I just felt like competition with yourself. Like you're competing with yourself right now to get to the top, to get out of this. But anyway, Gorgon, I don't know. The monster they feared, now I've become, still seeking for revenge from my cold heart of stone. This card immediately, excuse me, I see this as that first line, the monster they feared, now I've become. But I see that as the monster you feared, now you've become. It's like you've become something, excuse me, that you don't recognize when you look in the mirror. The person you become or you became is not something that aligns with you on a soul level. Right, collective, that'll make sense because I think that's where a lot of this anger comes from, is like kind of like living a lie, living a life that doesn't feel like yours. You become what you fear. Like it's like you were someone who never wanted to be told. You don't like being told what to do, or you don't want to. Like you feel so like strongly individual, like independent. And that's like the persona you put out there, while it's like you're realizing that you're anything but. Like you're everything that it's like everything that you have become or that you've let yourself be is like based on other people's, maybe not everything, right? But like what you show the world or what most people see or what is expected of you is all like what you expect of yourself is all bits and pieces of what other people have wanted from you or planned, or like there's just something about it, you not feeling completely made up of pieces of you. It's like you feel like you're made up of like a puzzle that has other people's pieces in it, like, and they just don't quite fit, right? And you're trying to find those pieces and take them out, right? You're trying to find them and take them out. But it's like every time you go to do it, it's like, but now my puzzle's gonna be empty. Like, you know, or like missing a piece. Like, it just, there's something every time that gets you, and you don't act. Like, confidence of knowing you need to, like, it's so, like, oh, I can't get over how this, it's like when you get really brave to do something, like I said, and you're just about to do it, and then all of a sudden all of your strength just drains. It's like you don't know where it goes, and you just like, and you just cower and run away. Not literally, you know, but you know, it's like that feeling like you get so, I know I can do this, and then the moment comes and you're like, oh my god, I can't do this. That's when you want that person to just come and push you off the ledge, like push you off the diving board, right? Like, sink or swim, bitch. No, sorry. It's like that's what you want someone to do to you sometimes, just to make it happen. It's like, you know, it needs to. It's like you just wish there was something other than yourself that had to be the one to push you to do it, because like you don't push yourself to do it. You and I don't mean that, like, I've been there. Trust me. But so I know that feeling of just like, God, I wish there was just something that would make me do it. But then you regret, because those second, sorry, I'm getting all blah, the second that situation does happen where you have no choice, the only choice is to speak up, or you know what I mean? Like, it's just, there's just no choice. You have to say something. Once you get to that point, that's when it becomes explosive and more confronting and more, like, you know what I mean, and more depleting. So I almost feel like you don't, while you're kind of hoping or wishing for that point to, like, I just need that. That's what I need. I need that thing to happen that's just going to that's just going to push me over the edge. I need that. You might not get that. Or you might not want to let that get to that. But anyway, sorry, I got distracted. Releasing judgment. Do not fear your darkness. You are not good or bad. You are human and evolving. I think that ties in to this anger at yourself, right? Release it. Use it. Self-sabotage awareness. Yeah. Where are you unconsciously blocking your own growth? Identify the patterns. How every time you get brave enough, you're kind of like, you draw back. It's like that moment has to be, that is your push. When you get to that point where you want that push, let that be your push, right? Like, let it. And I'm not advocating for like explosive anger, explosive emotion. You still want to have as controlled and centered emotion as you can, so you can speak, you know, your true feelings, but in a tactful way, right? So people will actually listen. You're not just screaming at someone, or, you know, whatever. You just want to, when that moment hits where you feel like it's going to, let that be the moment where so even if it, because let's be real, sometimes that moment comes, right? And the first thing you do is kind of explode. And then the person that you're exploding at is like, whoa. That gets them to, at least, you know, that's what gets them to listen, right? Because now you exploded, they're not used to that, they're listening. Take that second to, okay, you got that. Like, sometimes you just can't help, especially if you're, like I said, the type of person who just holds things in because you're not a confrontational person. You let it, like, boil and boil and boil underneath the surface, like, until it explodes. If that it's going to happen for you the way it's meant to happen for you, okay? But I'm saying, if that's what it has to get to for you, and that's what it gets to for you, make sure you've had enough of this, because I feel like with this isolation, use it to not just avoid the confrontation in itself, but to harness the centered energy that you want to convey, to say what you need to say, without the explosion of emotion. Sorry, I don't know if you can hear that, like banging, tapping. I'm pretty sure there's either a squirrel or a bird or something. I swear to God. Rude. Anyway, so this collective, you've got a lot of reflection, self work happening right now. A dark night of the soul with all of this attached to it. But at the same time, this dark night of the soul is giving you, that's where that confidence is coming from, because that's exactly where this, that's just what I felt, the dark night of the soul, when I was feeling this mystery and consciousness. It's like an awakening. Dark night of the soul, that awakened your ass for, sorry, to a lot, to what is going on around you, to what you're doing, to what other people are doing to you that maybe you've excused so much in the past, and now you're kind of like, wait, whoa, 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 right? Like, and that's why you start questioning these external situations, these karmic partners, these friends and family, your job, other people, your obligations, things that you've felt all your life you just had to do. You know what I mean? Like, it's just you see things different, and there is a confidence that comes with that. Sorry, that's not the confidence card. It's funny. I don't know that I would. Maybe confidence is not the right word. It's more like a It's like an excitement, like a knowing, just like an understanding. And when you get something that gives you confidence, you know what I mean? Like when you finally like understand, it's like when you're learning math or something, and there's just a concept that you just like, I just don't, and then there's just like one person or one thing that explains it in a way or shows it to you in a way that makes it all of a sudden click, and you're like, oh my God, I get it now. And then you're confident that you can do it, or at least attempt it in the future, because at least now you understand how it's like, you know what I mean? That's the kind of confidence that I feel with that energy. It's like there's, with this awakening, with this dark night of the soul, with this energy of like seeing things, even with the anger, it's like it's a like, oh, I get it now, like, so now at least I know I can, the energy of I can get there, right? I can, right, collective, you'll understand. I talk too much, I'm sorry. I want to wrap this up, I think, with and this reading seems to be all, I mean, other than the external party situations, or maybe there's even not only like an external party situation that you're confident you can like take care of, like get rid of, like let go of, or whatever the case may be, make changes to. There's also an energy of like there being something that you're confident you can now have. It's like like doors have opened, like that there's opportunities that you, and a confidence that now they could be real. I just that so I had to say that. Okay. Um let's get tarot for, and oh, where I was going with that, sorry. I think I was going that this reading is heavily like, this is you. Like, this is a reading for you, your self-work. There's no like, while they're like, because I had that feeling of like there's something you can have now, or that can work now, is what I'm getting. Um it doesn't feel like that is meant to be. What I'm trying to say is I don't feel any third party attachment as far as a focus, like a connection, like a person on your mind that you need to focus on right now, or that the focus should be on you, is what I'm trying to say. Whether or not there is connections to you right now that you have heavily on your mind, the focus is meant to be on you to get to that through this. Right? The way you deal with those external situations is through this inner work to give you that confidence, to practice discernment, to learn discernment, to put it into practice, and this isolation, like I'm curious if we actually get the Hermit for this collective. I wanna get tarot for universe's perspective, universe's advice or perspective for this collective right now. Okay. Now this one actually came out upside down, and I'm taking it. All these came out in reverse. Okay, so the universe right off the bat sees that this Queen of Pentacles in reverse, this collective, you might even be, it's giving me this isolation vibe with this anger. That's what that Queen of Pentacles is giving me right now in reverse. Like just not having the patience or empathy or anything for anyone right now. It's like you just want to be alone. It's like this anger is almost like not making you lash out at people, but be kind of like moody and maybe a little indifferent towards others in your life right now. Like I feel like you'd be kind of like you wouldn't be like really interested in having like fun, uplifting or conversations right now. It's like you just kind of want to be left alone. This Two of Swords in reverse, stuck between a rock and a hard place. Nine of Swords in reverse. Well, Nine of Swords in reverse, I don't know, this one kind of gets me. There are times where I have felt the Nine of Swords in reverse as kind of like a coming out of that energy. But because this is like paranoia, like deeply anchored fears, which I feel in that, the thoughts, the overthinking, like over the past, right? Negative self-talk, just believing all this negativity in your head and kind of dwelling in it, affecting your self-esteem, like like not feeling that confidence, going in and out of it, right? It's like I said, that confidence to me doesn't necessarily feel like a confident, like I can do this, like kind of like all the time. It's more of like that understanding how I explained it. Go back and watch. But it's also a card like of like an opportunity to begin healing. You know, to get out of this rock in a hard place. Which I think this collective really is trying to do, but that's where I feel like you are right now. Like did I even say rock in a hard place before, or did I? I don't think I used that term, but that feeling of like a crossroads, right? That's what this card gives me, like at a crossroads, like not sure, not that you're not sure, just like it's so the decision, the taking the action is overwhelming, and like I said, gets you to that point where you want to do it and you're like you kind of back off. And this Ten of Cups, miscommunication, not feeling like you're worthy of anything, unrealistic expectations, just general disharmony in like relationships and love. Honestly, right now the universe just sees that you're struggling. The universe is confirming the struggle is real for this collective. It's like nothing. And the way I'm seeing it, like everything feels upside down to you, I feel. It's like things have been literally turned upside down. Which, Dark Night of the Soul, hello. um, Not surprising. But you know what also I'm hearing is like sometimes you need things to be flipped upside down to get you out of it, right? To kind of like shake you out of that where you don't belong. Um, the biggest focus for this collective right now is this anger that you're dealing with. Um, Anger, resentment, um, jealousy, anything that evokes that those kind of negative, angry, upset feelings, frustration with yourself. That is meant to be this collective's main focus right now to get you out of all of this energy to and I want to I'm not going to get an outcome for anything right now for because this wasn't a focus on anyone else per se. It's a focus on you and what will help you progress, what will help you get through this dark night of the soul, right? Um, and right now, just the biggest block is this anger, is this the way it creates a block for your confidence to take care of what you need to take care of or to have what you feel like you deserve to have. Um, and easier said than done, of course. I'm not an idiot, like I get I don't say these things. People like we say it like it's so easy, just because we've done it sometimes and forget how hard it was for us to do it. And but I get it. So it's not an overnight thing, it's not an easy thing, but as far as just having the guidance to know where to put your energy right now, especially if you're feeling the way these cards came out. I think this is just your comfort reading to tell you just focus here. Just don't all that overthinking, the worry, you can do this self-care by focusing on and this isolation. I feel like whether if you're not in it already, get in it, right? Like I feel that. I know we didn't get the Hermit here or but the Dark Night of the Soul, that is an isolating journey. And when you get the Tower, um but I feel like with the Dark Night of the Soul here, that's basically, I mean, Tower would have confirmed further, but I mean, this for me, the Nine of Swords is just as bad, almost as the Tower, and sorry, I get a little distracted when I stare at the cards and I forget that I'm like, oh, duh, you're recording. Um, Try to focus as much as you can on, it feels like where you need to start is the anger at yourself, because once you can deal It's so much harder sometimes to forgive yourself than it is to forgive others. And it's so important when you're going through a dark night of the soul and there are things, especially anger or things that you need to work through. Try to stay grounded. Again, I know easier said than done. It can be, it's just, it's a hard, it's a hard energy, and I get it. And there's really nothing that anyone can say to make it easier, to make it faster or anything. It's gonna take time. It's gonna take you putting in that work, that inner work, that self reflection, that awareness, the doing the things that you're afraid of to break the patterns, to, you know, like to see the patterns of how not speaking up when that feeling comes over you, how it just keeps starting over another loop, another, you know what I mean, like taking that risk, that leap of faith, that finding that confidence to kind of like Nike, just do it. um, I'm just debating. I feel like I'm gonna probably end it here. Um, I'm just looking over at my other decks and deciding. Yeah. Okay. So I will end this here. I think this collective is just being called to really take a look at and focus on the anger and those feelings within themselves and towards other people, and just that is the biggest thing right now. And I think this isolation card, I just keep seeing it like feeling it as being important. And again, not like you have to like lock yourself in a closet for a year and but just like really like not trying to distract yourself is what I mean. Like don't, not to go into the habits of just trying to find little distractions to keep yourself from facing it. Really isolate in that way where you kind of force yourself to deal with these things. Don't let yourself get like when you start thinking about it and all the overthinking and the worry and the fear, instead of going and finding a distraction like no, I'll deal with it later. I'm just going to do this for now. Lean into that. You know what I mean? Like let it happen. Let yourself deal with that. Don't keep trying to distract yourself away from it. That's how I feel that isolation, not like I said, not locking yourself in a closet for a year and like not speaking to anybody, but okay. Sorry. I'll leave it there. I'm wishing this collective a lot of love and strength. Um, and hopefully we will pick up on this energy again at a different place when you have progressed, because I feel like you are, it's not for lack of trying right now with this collective. It's not. It's just hard. It's just a lot. Um, I shouldn't say for lack of trying. I think there actually is a lack of trying here. I'm gonna be honest. I think there is a lack of trying, but there's not a lack of wanting to try. Okay, there's plenty of wanting to push forward with this and do something about it. It's just the actual trying to do it that is holding this collective back right now. And you'll get there as soon as you internally send and get through that, right? When you can settle it internally, it will be so much easier to express it outwardly. Okay, so that is what you're being called to do right now. All right, that is where I'll end it. I hope that was not as confusing and ridiculous as it feels in my head, but all right, I love you guys. I hope you have a great day, and I'll catch you later. Bye.